Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Capricorns, let's take a look at what's going on right now. Right now, we've got Knight of Wands. We have the Lovers. Oh, somebody's thinking about Capricorn right now in a very sensual fashion. There could actually be two people. There could be somebody that actually, is connected to Capricorn's heart and likewise. And then we could have somebody else who would really, really love to disrupt that connection or would really, really love to try to flirt with Capricorn. I don't know. This is somebody I kind of think that it's just one person who is feeling kind of crazy about Cap. We get the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. I don't know, though. That would say, if you look closely, we have three cats here. It could be that Capricorn is obviously not feeling a connection to one individual, but might be to another. Ace of Cups. Now, there is a clear love story between two people here. We have somebody really thinking or falling for Capricorn and somebody else who just wants Capricorn's naughty body. This feels like one is sincere and one is insincere. And I want to say that the person who is sincere is the one that Capricorn feels something for as well. It's a little bit blurry because we actually have the white cat that's connected here. But then here we have the white cat, but then here we have the white and black cat. Again, it's definitely somebody really loves Capricorn. They've fallen in love with Capricorn somewhere throughout this year. This could be somebody who sees Capricorn maybe on a fairly regular basis just because the tree of life is here blooming and their hearts are interwoven. This could be somebody who knows people in Capricorn's life. They could have really beautiful eyes that look at how notable and how big those green eyes are in this cat. They could be the white cat or they could be the black cat, though, I suppose. This is somebody who's so in love. This has changed. Their feelings change because we do see the butterfly coming up to that cup of love. This is not, and here we have the serpent underneath the roots as well. So it feels like somebody who's been around Capricorn for a while or knows other people in their family or knows, family to me is, they don't have to be relatives. It's the people that we count as our, as our core group. But this is somebody who has felt all kinds of feels for the Cap. And I think this energy of like, yeah, I've fallen for that Capricorn a long time ago. Slowly but surely, it's just now being revealed to me. Death card. Again, we keep seeing all of these changes. I think someone has, somebody who started out maybe as a friend has become somebody who's like, wow, I don't know when it happened, but I don't see Capricorn as like, my Nana's best friend's niece anymore. I see Capricorn as somebody, I don't know why I'm getting the picture like Capricorn and this person were like introduced by elders in their community, not maybe trying to set them up, but I keep picturing people playing bunco. And I've never played bunco. I've never even seen it played. But I'm picturing people sitting around. Do you play with dice? I don't know, but I'm picturing something with like dice. So forgive me. I don't know if that's a card game or a dice game or what, but it just feels like Capricorn and this person, they met each other through some other scenario, and that person has become aware they are in love with Capricorn. Queen of Cups. Definitely, they're hoping Capricorn feels something for them as well. We need to get to Capricorn in just a minute, and we still need to talk about whoever this Knight of Wands is, because that's player energy. This person has lover's energy. This person has player's energy. So Capricorn's only interested in one, as we saw with the Six of Pentacles. Maybe Capricorn has had like a no strings attached kind of romance with somebody who like comes to town, and it's like, oh, and they, whatever, when this wild Mustang comes to town, we tend to have a good time, and then they leave again. But I think I don't want that kind of like situationship person to come back into my bed again, because I think I'm getting interested in this other person. I don't know. We'll see. Let's grab another deck. I feel like I do think I want this one. Okay. Tell me just about the player. Tell me about that Knight of Wands energy. Okay, so here's the crazy thing. For a while, Capricorn did think that they were in love because we have the Queen of Cups here too. For a while, we have the World card and we have the Temperance sideways, which there's Capricorn with the World card. For a while, Capricorn was like, okay, is this player? So there was somebody that Capricorn had like a no strings attached relationship with, or somebody that they were quite hot and bothered over and who was very attracted to Cap. But Capricorn is like falling out of lust with this player type energy, and is realizing, and that player type energy always kept Capricorn guessing, like, there's something that I want. I mean, maybe they're great lovers, right? Dolphins are one of the few species that, procreates, or excuse me, mates, not just to procreate, but also just for enjoyment. So they share that with humans, but it's like, even if we're good in the sack, does it really mean that we're compatible? Could I really see myself with them long term? And I'm going to say Capricorn always knew, I think that they're Mr. or Mrs. Good time, but not Mr. or Mrs. Right and long time. It feels more like Capricorn always kind of intuitively knew this lover who, maybe there's some real affection for, who I wish I could. I mean, I do love them in one way, but I think I love more of the idea of them. But I can't really, I've never pictured being able to settle down with them. I think that is correct. I think this other person, who I don't know if Capricorn has had any attraction to necessarily, although it's been slowly but surely growing, creeping up on Capricorn to the point where now they're like, oh, this is who I've been looking for. I feel like there's this change. Let's change decks and let's go and just look at Capricorn. There. Capricorn, how do you feel just about the player? Fool card. I jumped on in with them. It was exploration. It was, maybe I was at a point in my life where I needed a lover. We got the Hanged Man, but I never really gave them my heart. I always, it feels like I always was still trying to figure out what the heck am I doing with them. Okay. Then Capricorn, how do you feel about this? We'll say lover, meaning the lover's card, this person who's developed feelings. Okay, 3 of Cups, Ace of Cups. Capricorn has been falling for this other person as well, but Capricorn is in this uncomfortable situation of saying, I'm not trying to make somebody be a third party, but in my heart space, I'm realizing I'm more drawn to this other person who I've slowly been getting to know. They didn't start out as a lover. Maybe they've been somebody that was in my world because of family members. Over time, things have shifted and changed. Now it's like, okay, so hang on, I have a lover, but my heart feels feelings for this. So it feels like a third party, but it's really just like I've been getting to know them. Here, everybody's dancing around with masks. And I feel as if, by the way, there's dolphins up above again. I feel like it's slowly been dawning on Capricorn that this is actually the person I've been looking for. This is the kind of relationship I've actually wanted. It just feels like, Capricorn is having the moments of awareness. Capricorn's also saying, and I'm realizing I'm really attracted to them. I actually have a lot of warmth in my heart for them. I have depth of emotion, and I'm also very turned on by them. Okay, Capricorn, what are you going to do with that kind of like player energy who comes in and out? Capricorn's closing out that relationship. We see them just kind of saying, I think I'm going to drift away from that. 5 of Pentacles is like, I'm not going to be available next time they come to town. I don't know that Capricorn's going to tell them it's over. I met somebody that I actually like. I mean, because I don't think Capricorn ever didn't like this player, but I think it's like, I'm just, honestly, I'm moving away from that. I'm going to leave the player kind of out in the cold. I'm drifting away. I'm not going to answer a text, a booty call, and I do kind of feel like that's what this was. No judgment, no disrespect intended toward them or Capricorn, but it does feel like Capricorn's saying, I'm not going to answer the next booty call. I don't actually desire anything more with the player energy. Let me just ask out of sheer curiosity, how's that going to impact the player when Capricorn doesn't respond again? No offense again, but they just move on. This is kind of a fast paced, easy come, easy go. They could be somebody who was like a little bit famous, or they did something that could be well known in their industry. Maybe they are like a skateboarder. Maybe they are somebody who, has like a all consuming hobby or, lifestyle. Maybe that's why they come and go in and out of Capricorn's life, but they keep on keeping on. I don't think there's any harm or any foul in this whole situation. I think this has been, it's become clear that Capricorn's like, I actually really like this other person, which means I can't have a player energy, because I wouldn't do that to somebody that I'm realizing I really care about. And I actually want to pursue something with this other person. I don't see this as Capricorn has already started to pursue things with this other person. I think this is all, it's slowly blossoming for both of them. Tell me again about this person. They could be a Gemini, they could be a Scorpio, but it felt like they too had slowly become aware that I love this Capricorn. Tell me just about you. 10 of Swords. Something has shifted in their life. A painful ending has ended. Something is over. 6 of Pentacles there. So here's the thing. This looks like this person maybe has been around Capricorn while they were going through a massive ending. They could have been recently divorced. They could have been somebody that wasn't ready up until now to even start thinking about a relationship. Maybe that's why it's dawned on them slowly as well that Capricorn is really great. It's nice to see, again, that nobody was, out cheating, harming each other. It was all just like, one kind of murky relationship where it wasn't really established is ending because Capricorn's realizing I'm much more drawn to this other person. This other person is realizing I'm really drawn to Capricorn. Now they're ready to begin something. I feel like this character has been alone. They could be a bit of a lone wolf. Very different characters too. I feel like Capricorn's like lover or player energy person that they were dealing with, liked the thrill of the crowd and was also kind of like hyper focused on the stuff that they liked to do, and felt very attractive and very suave. And, like they really like Capricorn for, sensuality. But I feel like they kind of maybe like the thrill of a crowd watching them. Whereas this person who's drawn to Capricorn, the one that Capricorn themselves is choosing now, I feel like they are very different. I feel like they're very self-contained. I feel like they've been alone for a while. I feel like they have a ton to offer. I feel like they are somebody who's thought heavily about, the importance of a relationship. Again, Capricorn keeps coming up as a Queen of Cups over and over and over again. They have wondered if Capricorn had any emotions for them. Sorry, my boy. An 8 of Wands in the reverse. It just feels like they've thought a lot about this, but haven't known if they should try to gravitate. I think probably intuitively they might have known that, they weren't ready to approach Capricorn, but they were developing feelings slowly but surely. Certainly a lot of respect. They feel like Capricorn has a lot of wisdom. 2 of Cups in the reverse. But I don't know if they believe in really meaningful connections. 4 of Cups. So this person was very heartbroken for a very long time, maybe, and felt like they got out of a relationship. They maybe felt betrayed or something. So we have the Lovers again. They perhaps felt like they ended up with a false 2 of Cups. I'm wondering if they had some important conversation with Capricorn at some point, and Capricorn gave them some kind of like pearl of wisdom where it's like, what do you mean? Why would you even be heartbroken? They were the wrong person. Somebody who's going to break your heart is not the right person for you. That's how you know they're not the right one. You didn't miss out on the best thing of your life. If you were devastated by, some relationship that ended, that's probably because they couldn't match your energy. So the universe moved them out of your life so you can have somebody that does. I mean, I'm wondering if Capricorn gave them they definitely spit wisdom, because you see the crab holding the pearls of wisdom. Capricorn could have a strong water placement here, or they're just very, very, very empathetic. But I feel like Capricorn pointed something out to them, and that might have been a big turning point for them where they're like, holy hell, I did not see it that way. This Capricorn, like they nailed it. They're spot on. And I think that could have been the moment where it was like, someday I want to be with this Capricorn. Someday I've got to be with this Capricorn. There's a reason that they're in my life and the other person isn't. So this was is a slowly migrating, slowly blossoming connection where it begins more with like conversation. It begins more like being around each other. And then it touches on stuff that's much more real. And then there's this awareness that starts to come out of this. And it's like, oh, that is why this went this way. It's becoming pretty obvious now for them and Capricorn. You know what? I loved this one. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.